Hey, welcome. I want to talk about something that affects so many people, and that's the feeling of not being good enough, or that you're a victim, or that nothing in your life is going the way that you want it to go. Have you ever found yourself in a situation that frustrates you because no one else sees it as you do? Then you start to question yourself, which makes you feel wrong or not good enough. Well, I'm going to jump to the punchline here, but I hope you will listen to the end. I do have a story to tell. Never, never, never make yourself wrong. This doesn't mean that you don't apologize for something that you've done or that we've done, but it's quite different from making ourselves bad or inept or unworthy or wrong as a person. Those are two completely different things. Do not make yourself wrong. That is 100% disempowering. We can own the situation, but realize that we can't even recall or articulate the thousands of thoughts that we had based on the past that caused the situation to come about, or perhaps it's just a situation that we find ourselves within. So let me give you a scenario. We may be in a situation that we see clearly. Remember, this is just one scenario. We see the situation clearly. It frustrates us because no one else seems to see the nuances of it or the outcome of the situation or why it exists, but you do. And you react, seeing it clearly, and you're right. Let's say you are 100% right about that situation. However, and hear me, no matter how right you are, if your pattern is one of victimization, no matter how right you are, no matter how right you are, I just want to emphasize that, you will end up being the bad guy, the wrong guy, the inappropriate guy every time, which is simply mirroring how you feel about yourself. How you feel about yourself is how others will feel about you, think about you, and show up for you. And that's all based on past experiences. So maybe you truly were a victim as a child, and that became your pattern. But do we really want to keep living our lives feeling that way? Situations that seem to continuously manifest, they are just mirrors for how we feel about ourselves, whether we're aware of it or not. So for me, I was the perpetual victim. I still have remnants of it, which I'm working on today. As a child, I recall feeling apologetic for even being around. I felt like, and truly was, a victim. I was a child, but deep down, it translated into feeling not wanted, left out, feeling unloved. I was a victim with a victim mentality that developed, and people showed up all over the place to support that idea I had of myself. The universe will support us in any way we feel about ourselves. I guess that's the good and the bad of it, but the good news is that we can choose. So I projected my insecurities, and people picked up on it and treated me exactly as I felt about myself. It could be that you have come to not trust others, or maybe you pick out shortcomings of others. or are very judgmental of others? If so, then you are also experiencing people not maybe gravitating towards you or picking out your shortcomings because you think and what you think and feel comes right back at us, right? Whether we're thinking it about ourselves or we're thinking about somebody else. So how do we change that? What do we do about that? And this is the big thing. First, we have to become aware. And that awareness is in this present moment. Become aware of the patterns, the things that keep happening over and over, the things in our lives that we want to change, but they never do. We have to bring that to our conscious mind. We have to be aware. So just because you feel that way and people mirror it back to you in that way doesn't mean it's truly who you are, right? Or that it can't be changed. It can be changed. We can do it. It doesn't matter what is happening, what the situation is. It can be changed. You can spend your time finding all the reasons why it's true. Oh, that's a good one, right? You're not good enough. You failed over and over. You see no way out. And you say, it's all true, you say. And then we use that information, that truth, to justify how we feel not good enough. Trust me, I do it all the time. Or should I say I used to do it all the time. I don't do it quite so much anymore. So we want to become aware. But it's so painful. Some situations hurt so much. So what do? You give yourself a break. Make how you feel okay. It's okay to feel what you feel, to feel like a victim, to feel unworthy. It's okay to feel that. You are human. To change the feeling, though, we must fully allow the feeling without judgments about them. We sit with them. As author Rhonda Byrne says, whom I dearly love, welcome the feelings like you would welcome a friend. Welcome the feelings like you would welcome a friend. Because if you keep making the feeling bad, such as being a victim or being wrong or feeling inept or that you've been wronged in some way, those feelings are going to persist. What you resist persists. So literally, sit with the feeling and examine it. Welcome it, right? Be calm about it. Thank it for showing you something. Breathe deep and then let it pass. When the feeling comes back, and it will come back, it will have reduced. It will feel less painful because it's making space for something new, a new and improved idea about yourself. Isn't that beautiful? And I think that's what really happens. It's a new vision of you. Feel the feelings of being worthy, because you are. You just may not know it yet, right? We're all worthy. We couldn't be here if we weren't worthy of being here on this beautiful planet, right? So what would it feel like to be supported, to be loved, to live the life that you prefer? Sorry, I'm tearing up here. Because this life is really beautiful. When it's not sucky, right? It's really beautiful. So stop blaming yourself and don't blame others either. You are human. And as humans, we become wired to certain patterns of thinking and behavior. But now we know. We can become aware of them. And those patterns can be changed. For sure. And you and I can do it. You just have to want to change and imagine the improved way of living. See it, feel it, and know that it is possible, because it is. Even if we have a hard time with it, it's still possible. We can still do it. You and me, we can do it. When I was about 30 years old, having lived a entire life of low-level depression, lots of nonstop anxiety, and not seeing options for creating a satisfying life path for myself, something suddenly changed. And I can't tell you exactly the cause of the change. It may have been that I began opening my mind to more esoteric ideas, ways of thinking, more possibility thinking. I began reading A Course in Miracles, and perhaps that was the catalyst for this. But whatever it was, I was suddenly happy. This was a feeling I did not know very well. I was happy. I was living in the moment. Hear this. I was living in the magnificent moment of being on this planet, in my house, washing dishes, of all things, and not wanting to be anywhere else on the planet. And I lived that way for like 8 to 10 months, and not wanting to be anywhere else. But as it turned out, I was unable to maintain it much longer, probably because I wasn't stable enough in that good feeling to be impermeable to the negativity of others, and myself. Those feelings were coming up. I began coming down from this extraordinary experience. I call it a gift. What that experience tells me is that it is possible to change, and change quickly. It is possible for all of us. So here are my recommendations based on my past experiences and my experiences of others. And number one, never make yourself wrong. You are not wrong. Stop blaming yourself and avoid blaming others. Things generally arise because of how we feel about ourselves and others. I would say, to know more about this from a scientific perspective, I would recommend reading Joe Dispenza, listening to some interviews with Joe Dispenza, and also Nassim Haramein, a physicist. I think those would be two that give you real concrete evidence of miraculous things are possible, for sure. I would say number two, become aware of your patterns of thought and behavior, those things that have persisted through your life, but don't make yourself bad or wrong, because of them. And number three is welcome those negative thoughts and feelings. Truly welcome them as you breathe deeply, relax, and let them pass. And when they return, they will be reduced. They will feel less hurtful. So relax and let them pass. And when they return, they will be reduced, less hurtful. Keep doing it. You may still recall the painful situation, but it will not feel like the kick in the gut, that you used to feel. Remember that it is making space for the new, improved feeling about you. Right? I recommend meditating. If you're new to meditation, then simply find some meditation music, sit quietly, allow thoughts to come and go with the goal of having no thought. By having no thought, we allow space for our higher mind. You can call it the subconscious mind, you could call it the mind of God, to work. It already knows what your preferences are, and we are all We prefer happiness, joy, prosperity. So by quieting our mind, the new ideas about ourselves, our work, our lives can begin to be brought to the conscious mind. The old ideas about ourselves can be transformed. It can happen miraculously. It really can. I have so many stories that I'd like to tell you, but I'll hold back on that. You can do it. We all can. It's just a matter of making the decision to change and getting serious about it. Do we really want to wait until it gets much worse and distract ourselves with more content from experts who probably never lived as bad a life as they want you to believe? They all have that hook. They all want to portray themselves as having come through something, disastrous. So stop. You don't need a guru or a shaman. None of us do. But yes, I will say sometimes we need help. And I support that. I do. I support getting something that can help. But it can also, after a time, it can become disempowering. After a time, we can do it. You can also get help and help yourself at the same time, right? We're just regular people. We all are. And you and me, we're regular. But regular people are extraordinary too. We're extraordinary. We are. So don't wait to get started. When I began to realize that I am an expert too, and I already possess the tools for change, things started to change, really. So meditate. Stop judging yourself as wrong. No matter how many people want you to believe that you're wrong, you did the best you know how. Read and listen to empowering messages. Say empowering things to yourself. Dump the negative crap, right? And did I say meditate? Do it to feel good. And from the good feeling, the mirror of your desires and good feeling will be pointed right at you. The universe will serve it up on a silver platter. It will. Thank you for listening.